Hey guys, happy New Year's Eve. I know it's silly that I'm making a card on New Year's Eve, but you know, I don't live the wild life I once did. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to make a New Year's card? And obviously, I didn't make it just for New Year's. I put let's celebrate so that we could use it all year round. But I just thought this would be a fun card to put out tonight. I just think I'll get started in showing you. Oh, and by the way, this little pusheen I want to show you because my niece, here, I'll take it off because I have the little board glued down. My niece has started pin collecting, and I bought her pusheen pins for Christmas. But what's so funny is she bought me this pusheen pin, like blind box, for Christmas, and I opened it. So it's so funny that we both bought each other pusheen pins for Christmas. I love pusheen. I love Disney pins, obviously, but pusheen is such a fun, cute little cat. And so I replaced Stitch and thought I put pusheen here. So this is my little display. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that for a second. But anyway, back to our New Year's card. I will get us started. It actually was pretty quick. I put this together and I designed it, created it, everything, made examples for it all in like under an hour, which is a pretty fast card. So we're using Light Up the Sky stamp set, which is from last year. I bought this last year. The rainbow-y glitter paper here is from this paper. And you see there's a horizon side of it, but then there was also this tealish side, which is the side that we're using here. So this is what that looks like. Yeah, there we go. So, and so we're using the other half of it. And this is the rainbow glimmer paper from several years ago. This is from quite a few years ago. I think like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even during the pandemic. And we've got our layers. So we'll just glue those together now. That way they get nice and dry before we attach anything to them. I'm a little anxious about it only because it's glimmer paper. And so the back of glimmer paper has like a little sheen to it. It's not a gloss, but it's just not as porous as cardstock. So, it's just not as porous as cardstock. So I was a little anxious about gluing it to the cardstock and whether it would stay down, but it actually has so far. So let's give it a tester and see. This is my sample. On the first one, I used tear and tape because I was worried that the glimmer paper might peel up from the cardstock. I really was worried about it. And so, but I've seen other ladies, glue glimmer paper right to the cardstock. But for some reason, I just always thought it was going to be too smooth, like it wasn't porous enough. Cardstock sticks to cardstock because, it doesn't have the sheen that this has. And I wish it was a sticker, but it's not a sticker. It would be awesome if it were a sticker, but I was thinking, no, it's not a sticker. I know it's not because we don't really make that. And at that time, well, we make stickers now. Stampin' Up! Makes stickers now, but they didn't for a long time. So I'm trying not to put too much glue, but I also want to make sure there's plenty of glue because see how this paper curls? And that's the other issue is that the glimmer paper curls a little bit. So, and this is just a sliver that I cut off when I was trimming. I had originally thought I was going to have a different size layer. And in the end, I had this little sliver. So I'm like, let's use that on the inside. And so that's what I did. It's actually upside down. So yeah, to make sure it matches the card, let's do this. I guess that doesn't really matter. We could do it this way, or we could do it this way. I guess it doesn't really matter. All right, now in the inside. Yeah, see, I just want to make sure that the corners stay down. So I was just experimenting with it a little bit. Well, this is going to decide how we're putting it in. For some reason, I like it when the inside has the surprise on the right. And maybe because I'm right-handed, I don't know. Just naturally want to put the surprise on the right-hand side. of the inside of the card. You know, I always like to have a little something inside. A little surprise. So I'm going to have a Whatnot show on Friday. So that'll be the first, no, is that the 1st of January? No, it'll be, today's Wednesday, tomorrow's the first, Friday is the 2nd. Friday's the 2nd. So the 2nd of January, I'm having a Whatnot show at 6 o'clock Central Time. So that's like 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And then that's 4 o'clock on Pacific Coast Time. Mountain Time, I think. I don't know. I never remember Mountain Time because it's like different if you're in Arizona. And I don't know. It's all a little different. So, okay. So we've got our layers. Again, so this is Bermuda Bay cardstock. It's a retired cardstock, but I had some old pieces of it. You could also use Coastal Cabana. Coastal Cabana is just a lighter color of this, and I wanted the darker. So I pulled it out of my stash. It's retired. Maybe you still have some of it. Some people collect their cardstock. I was just thinking, I wish I had some, see here. I was going through my cardstock and found some old retired cardstock and was thinking, I wish I had more of this. Okay, so this is 4 inches, 4¼ by 11, scored at 5.5. And the Bermuda Bay is 4 inches by 5¼ and the Rainbow Glimmer paper is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Very simple layers. Okay, done. This is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and we're going to be using this large firework and this smaller firework. Let's go ahead and stamp our Mickey head. And I always thought it was so cool when I'd watch fireworks where they could make a Mickey head. And maybe I'm imagining it, but I feel like they used to make, this is all pre-AI and drones, where they could make a firework of Mickey Mouse's silhouette. And I always thought that was so wild. Okay, so I just stamped the large one, and then I'm stamping the little pom-pommy one up in the right corner. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I practiced, if you're a little nervous, I practiced doing this on a piece of paper before I stamped it on my little label. So then we're going to take our corner rounder. I didn't like the square aspect on the label. Okay, and I told you this was 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, I think. And then I'm just taking any corner rounder will do. This is just the one I have. And this one retired a couple years ago. I'm just using anything I have to show you guys how to make crafts because I'm trying to be a little less wasteful. I'm not necessarily with pins because I have a ton of pins, but I'm just trying to be a little less wasteful in buying stamps that I don't use. So I'm trying to use the ones that I actually have. And so that's really my goal. So we've got our label done. Okay, sorry, just the edges are a little bit rough. And so I'm just using my nail. If you ever have rough edges on your paper, sometimes just using your nail against the edge of it can smooth it out. You can also use a piece of sandpaper or a nail file, but that's when it's really jagged, and this isn't jagged enough. So, all right, that is set to the side. So now I have a little label, and this label is, let's see, how big is this label? I forgot already. It was a scrap. This is 3 1/4. It was a scrap from that by 3/4 inch. Okay. So it's not very big, you know, just, and again, any scrap will do. But I decided, you know, what if we stamp some more, you know, I was trying to decide what to do for our label, and I went around and round and round on what to do. And okay, this one goes with this one. This one goes with this one. This goes with, whoops. This goes with that. This goes with this. Okay. So, I kept going round and round, and I didn't want to use a different colored piece of cardstock, but I didn't want it to be so plain. So I just wasn't sure what to do. There's a little spot on here, but you know what? It's going to be covered by this firework. So this is lemon lime twist. So I'm just stamping my, I'm stamping fireworks across the label. Okay. I really like, lemon lime twist is my most favorite color, next to starry sky, but it's my most favorite green. And this is pool party. Okay, and this one isn't the prettiest of colors stamped, but we needed something that was matching the rainbow, you know, so we needed something in this bluish range, but we needed it to be lighter than this color. You see, if I used this color, it would have looked a little too contrived, is the best way I can describe it. And I actually love the lime, so I don't mind using the lime stamp again on the other end. All right. Then, instead of using black, so again, this was lemon lime twist. This one was fresh freesia, because I don't think I mentioned that. And this one here is pool party, which is a very faint blue. Then, as you can see, how cute, right? What a cute little label. You know, it could have just been plain white, but instead I elevated it with a little bit of oomph. Okay. So now we're going to take Blackberry Bliss, which is what our card base is. So this is Blackberry Bliss, and it actually looks like black when you stamp it. So we're going to go ahead and stamp Let's Celebrate onto our label. And that's why I have the paper here, because I couldn't stamp straight on the label without getting it all over the table. Let's go ahead and center this and stamp this down. Done. Perfect. So there's our label. Cute, right? I had to do something. Having a plain white label was too minimal, and having it in a different color didn't work either, but the Blackberry Bliss, I think, again, adds that little elevation and color that you're not totally expecting. I didn't want to add more fireworks because I didn't want to detract from the Mickey shape. You know what I mean? Because if I start adding more and more fireworks all around it, I think it would have detracted from the actual shape. That's my personal opinion. But, oh wow, I got it. Got this piece all messy, and I didn't even know it. That's why sometimes you have to be careful. You can set your label right down on top of your ink, and you don't even know it. I must have set this down on the open ink pad or something when I was preparing everything. Now I'm putting a lot of pieces of dimensional because I wanted to make sure it's nice and firm across the top. And let's put some dimensionals on the back of the label. Okay. All right, let's put our label first, our image first. Okay. Okay, that little piece. All right, and we're going to just center it near the top here. But yet we still get all that glimmer from the glimmer paper. Oops, it's a little off center. No, I'm having trouble getting it right in the middle. There we go. There we go. And then we'll put our label down below. in order to finish it off, I decided to go looking for some gems. And I was thinking, what should I do to like add to make this a little more elevate, you know, just this firework a little bit more. So we're taking this, there are four sizes, and we're taking the second largest size, and we're going to put one in the center to make a little Mickey head. Now these stick right down to the paper. So once you stick it down, it's done. Okay, so you really can't mess with it like you can with other embellishments. So try to get it on the first time. Okay. And so our Mickey head's a little off to the side, I realize now, but that's okay, because we're going to offset it with some other little gems. And these are called, these are from, oh gosh, these are from like 6 or 7 years ago. These are called Glimmer Enamel Dots. And I'm just using the colors that are in the rainbow paper. And I always do it in odd numbers. So let's get a green over here. Or maybe not so large. Let's get a smaller green. And a medium blue. So that makes it 8. Total of 8. And I always like it in odd numbers. So let's get a smaller green here and a larger blue. And how about a medium purple? Okay, so to kind of try it, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. So to just try and offset some of the like off-center aspect, adding these little dots helps trick your eye into thinking it's all centered. Now, if you're someone who's obsessed with symmetry and all that, you're going to say, no, it's not centered. And it's not. But again, what was my goal? You know, so, all right. So then I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to go ahead and brush some of this glitter pen. Wink of Stella is a little glitter pen. And it just has this little bit of glitter that you can paint onto your stuff. It's not a ton. It's just, again, a wink. It really is a wink. Glitter pens can make some really intense glitter. This is a much lighter version of that. Because it just barely puts the tiniest little coat on the top. And the glitter is very, very fine. So, and again, I just wanted a simple, quick, something quick that I could download from my phone and put it up on the YouTube before midnight, hopefully long before midnight. And even if you see it on New Year's Day, that's okay too. But, you know, I'm not doing anything exciting, so I'm crafting for you guys, getting ready for my Whatnot show. I'll probably watch a movie here in a little bit. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the glimmer. Let me see if it shows when it's a little darker. It's hard to tell. It's a little hard to see it, but it's there. You don't want to put too much because then, oh, see that big old blob? That's why you never go right to your paper. You always go to a practice piece of paper first before you actually put any on the project, because that blob came out of the side there, you see. And so I love this product, but that's just like a cautionary tale, so to speak. So there's a little extra glitter on it now. So let's put a little bit more. Make sure there's plenty of glitter. I mean, it is a firework, so it needs to have lots of glitter. Now there are dies that go with this stamp that can do some other cool things, but I am just using the most simple way I can. Oh yeah, that's some good glitter coming out of there. There we go. Now that's plenty. And so now you should have a nice good sheen coming off. And should be able to see that little bit of glitter. It's hard to see it, but it is there. And even in the light, I can add more to make sure that there's enough. Now you can do embossing that would emboss a ton of glitter on here, but nah. There we go, and that's our card. That is our entire card. Our entire New Year's celebration card. So perfect, you know, it could be, my sister just got a job, so that I think it'd be cool to send this to her, you know, because she just got a job, so that might be cool. But, you know, just a fun little New Year's celebration card. I hope you guys like it. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Comment, share, like, all the things. I appreciate you. I just appreciate all you guys do. I know I say that in every video, but I truly do. Anytime you guys comment or like or say anything positive about my stuff, I'm always just really happy, because I am a teacher by trade. I've been teaching. I was teaching my whole life, and now that I'm not a teacher, I miss teaching. So this is my way of teaching without having a classroom, you know? So I appreciate you, and you have an excellent day, and thanks so much for tuning in.